All right, ladies and gentlemen, we know why we're here, okay? We know exactly why we're here. We're here because we are savage shamans. We're gods and goddesses in training. And today we're talking all about the full moon. It's coming up tonight for me. Wherever it is you're tuning in from, probably you're going to also experience this. And so just stay prepped, stay alert during this time. There might be different downloads or different things coming up for you that you might want to write down or focus on. Now, yesterday I was watching something which was really reinstating this understanding towards practicing out-of-body experience, practicing lucid dreaming again. And this came up also as a very important theme for us as adepts, okay? Now, let me just see here. Let me change the settings of this. Edit. What song was coming up in my head today? It was Living in a Gangsta's Paradise. Living in a gangsta's paradise. Okay. All right. Sweet. Coolio. Okay. Forward to adepts as well. Okay. All right, let's go. This Dr. Doom energy, man, that I'm tapping into is a very, very powerful one. I think that there's green and gold theme and this theme of illumination that's coming up because we are stepping into the Aquarius full moon. And this full moon today is basically at 27 degrees. So 7 and 2 is 9, and it's the 18th, which adds up to 9. So it's a very 9 completion type of energy. It's a type of energy that is going to cause you to end certain chapters of your life and begin new ones. It's going to allow you to understand if you've been left as a cliffhanger, like something big is happening. I said it yesterday. This is the energy where the precipice sort of kicks off, right? And we're also through this Uranus transit. And I believe that this is going to bring in peak experiences, peak energies, okay, during this time, because it's basically going to make it a lot more possible for us to have these peak experiences as far as I'm getting the downloads today. Let's see what the guides have to say real quick. They're saying to learn from your mistakes. Earth is a schoolroom. It is a wise soul who learns from them, the mistakes they mean. Take responsibility for the mistake and do not look to blame another for the consequences. You will not need to repeat this behavior in future interactions. There are no failures, just possibilities of doing something differently than you are used to by using the knowledge of past experience, right? So you're using the knowledge of the past to fix your present, current circumstances, right? Any other messages from the guides during this full moon, which is most important to hear? Practice moderation, okay? You've chosen to incarnate in this physical dimension to enjoy and partake in experiences you could not have anywhere else. Moderation means avoiding extremes in all things. You must learn to conserve energies and bring moderation in order to live a fuller life and express yourself more clearly. You're a precious being, and you need to understand it's your responsibility to bring yourself to the state of balance or suffer the consequences. You're experiencing a time in your civilization that is saturated with stimulation and technology, right? And so it's mindful. You have to be mindful of the moments that you're living. Simplicity in all things mixed together with a sense of balance makes for a happier and longer life, okay? Now, this was something I was actually pondering on the idea of freedom, right? What do we really define as freedom? Now, how I've understood to define it for me is alignment. Because when I feel aligned, when I feel like all my chakras are, in order, and my gut, heart, brain, balls, everything is speaking in one, and I'm centered. I feel very connected to what I'm doing, and I'm moving in that way, I feel free. The moment I'm out of alignment or misaligned, I feel like I'm not free. I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I'm repeating some cycle or doing something else, right? And so it really comes back to alignment as the code for us in order to understand this energy of freedom. Because you can feel freedom and peace. Don't think they're on opposite sides of the spectrum, right? A lot of the times we sacrifice our peace for our freedom and then our freedom for our peace. Whereas both can coexist, right? We have to start to understand these splits in Primal Sutra, and we're going to talk about that a little bit today as well. So illumination is the basic theme of this particular full moon. I know Ryan G, his particular full moon deity is Uncle Pete, who is a leprechaun. So that leprechaun energy, is super excited. And once the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, it's like, let's get ready to rumble. That's what he's saying right now. So basically, we need to understand how to optimize that for ourselves too, because we understand that there is this kind of lucky charm, golden energy that's being permeated, right? And by the way, this background is, I think, Dr. Doom's lab. I looked it up. And I'm wearing this particular thing today. It says Agora, which is really funny. That's the name of the brand, I'm guessing. But yeah, it's interesting because I look like I'm in a raincoat right now and it's raining outside and I'm indoors, right? I'm indoors in a raincoat. Like but it just matches the swag and the energy and everything, right? So I'm just running with it. Running and running and running and running and running and okay. Now, what do you need to know? Okay, so for our path working, we mostly have Scorpios and Virgos in our path working. Okay, Mathis is Aquarius. Who else do we have? Wade is Gemini. Um, and Stuff Like Water. I'm not too sure what your zodiac is. Or is he also Scorpio? Yeah, we have a lot of Scorpios and Virgos in our path. Anyway, it's very interesting. So to the Virgos, I would say notice the energy of your coworkers and people that you're working with, because your well-being and their well-being are going to clash during this phase. And so there might even be people stepping down from roles. You might have even seen like how Biden stepped down as president, right? That's kind of an example of that, the similar theme of things happening where people are just gonna change jobs or change roles or change, you know, different ways of their work and their career. So it's gonna change, man. Irregardless of what happens, it's going to test that part of you. So really get clear upon the things that you're really curious about knowing that will tap you back into your purpose again. Okay. So if you're feeling dispassionate right now, you need to activate the curiosity, which will spark that passion alive, okay, within you during this time, during this portal. Now, it's really good for you to focus on a character for this shift, right? And Rykov them and deity yoga them and make them a part of your character, right? Let's actually understand and normalize that anybody can channel, anybody can have these spiritual gifts, right? It's not like a very woo-woo mystical, like elated thing that we can't access. It is something that is accessible, which is why I choose to talk about it and share from the standpoint. So it's really about understanding your mind, your own psyche. It's by understanding the psyche or the soul, right? You're understanding that where all of this overlaps. So you might have had a weird archetype in the back of your mind that you repressed and pushed away, and then it's shown up in a various way. So I got this imagery. I'll just give you a personal example. I have this imagery of a chili, right? Um, where's my phone? Okay, so one second. Let me see if I can show this to you guys. Okay. So I got this imagery of this chili like showing up, right? And immediately I was like, damn, it's because I like spicy food. Like I order this thing. I told you guys, right? Indian noggin sauce or whatever. And Smoky Ghost, it's called, right? And I think it's a weird theme, right? So this imagery, originally I found him on Instagram, this guy, and he looks ferocious, right? He looks like I'm hungry for something, right? And what he was eating is like some kind of a green apple, and green apple usually represents dark feminine rituals in our path working. So it's like he's consuming the dark yin, the dark feminine, in order for himself to awaken. Um, it's very powerful thematically. Again, everybody has these aspects within them, so it's like you as a woman reacting to your divine femme or and dark femme and divine dark femme, which is the combo, is a very powerful one. Okay, that's where you're gonna find the nuggets of gold, the different installations, the insights for your character development right now. Um, a lot of you guys will get these different profound visions and dreams and synchronicities at this time as well. So just be open to that. And if you're feeling uncertain, you need to bring about a change of some sort. Okay. And that's going to happen through the energy right now, because the energy right now, if you really tap into it, Mama Gaia is angry for some reason, right? The energy of the earth is very, very in that volcanic eruption energy of like there's something about to happen. I'm swear you're testing my patience right now. I swear, right? That threshold. So that's why the moderation theme probably came up. And what are we to do with this energy? We are to take responsibility. We're to trust our intuition and know that our beliefs are right for us. Oh, this is a good one. Okay. Accept what resonates and release the rest back into the ether. Belief systems can cause violence and war, with different systems thinking their way is the only way. Every soul is on a different journey. The same map is not going to be useful for everyone. So you got to feel secure that you're on the path that's meant for you and be aware that the path may fork in the road, right? There might be like ways in which you might be like, okay, no, I want to switch over to this lane now and try things from this angle. Okay. So follow the route that speaks to your heart, man, and creates that mind-heart coherence. So you will remain in that integrated feeling, that grateful feeling, like I'm here for a reason, man. I'm doing this thing for a greater good, and I'm causing the ripple effect through changing my internal world in the way that I see everybody as a divine parent of sorts. Everybody is a kind mother and a kind father, but their energy has gotten perhaps distorted by culture and society and so forth. Okay. So I'm going to try to make this as based AF as possible for you guys, this full moon lecture. And if you are tapping into this energy of revolution, this energy of rebellion right now, you notice that this energy needs to be activated in some way. So right now in Kolkata, there are many protests going on outside. Okay. A lot of breaking into hospitals to tamper with evidence, a lot of strange things happening with government top-down control. And there's a lot of bureaucratic loopholes and random things coming up to surface. Everything is being illuminated, right? All the darkness is being illuminated, and we're going to see an upheaval of this energy in the future. So we have to really take our power back over it, because it is going to slowly pull our consciousness towards these different things that are going on. Okay, so we have to remain very centered during this time. And I want you to imagine that, you know, any thing that you're struggling with, whether it be a dis-ease of any sort or any kind of malady or disruption in your world, especially internal world, um, okay, let me see if this is it Byron Katie who has this? Who has that of list of spiritual being? Is it being health? No. Spiritual causes. Let me see if this is it. Is it Louise Hayes? This is giving us some kind of a list, but hmm. I'm gonna try if it's Louise Hay, 'cause it might be. Okay, I think it is, guys. So let me share the screen. All right. So abdominal cramps or fear. Let's see here. Allergies, denying your own power. I used to have a lot of allergies, man. Means I have a lot of power, I guess. Mm, wow. Anorexia is denying the self-life. Okay. Now, these are obviously just interpretations, but I think it's very important to look at back problems, the support of life, feeling supported by life, lower back pain, fear of money. We did a release for that, I believe, breathing into that spot. Let's see here. B, C, ear stuff. The capacity to hear, not wanting to hear. Yep. Heartburn is fear that's clutching. Dang. Check this. Impotence is related to fear of the mother. Hmm. Very interesting. Okay. Ingrown toenail. Okay. Worry and guilt about your right to move forward. Motion sickness is fear of feeling being trapped. Wow. Polio is paralyzing jealousy, right? So there are all these spiritual components or causes, right? There's an energetic cause, okay, that causes these things in us. So once we really analyze it, right, and we do the emotional work alongside whatever we're struggling with, okay, let's say you're getting a lot of wrist pain, right, and that represents movement and ease. So when you're doing wrist exercises, you want to feel into the ease of it actually being that, right? So you have to feel into, even if it feels pressure and you feel the stuckness there, you still want to get into the frequency of healing, which is the ease. So if your wrist is locked up, it's not going to allow you to move properly, right? Because you need your wrist to do things with your hands. Otherwise, you can't activate them properly. So yeah, this list is pretty interesting, huh? Um, psoriasis, let's see, fear of being hurt. Nervousness is not trusting the process of life. Okay. Very interesting. It's giving us at least another perspective of looking at disorders, right? Because it's not always like that. Now, okay, let's get into this now. So this idea of changing your leadership style may be coming up right now, more than ever, actually, because you've been noticing the way you've been a leader is not exactly your definition of it. It's been imposed upon you. It's been you've been sold a specific way that you have to lead through some kind of a leadership program you've done or some kind of, course that you've done online. You think that to be a leader, you need X, Y, Z, whereas you haven't fully discovered the intuitive leadership you can actually access, right? And so my advice to you would be to lead with grace. Understand that there is a way. So let's look at this. Um, so I'm looking up. Okay, the difference of Wu Wei leadership and Confucianism. If you guys know, Taoism and Confucianism are two kind of polar opposites, but they understand they make a part of the Chinese society, right? The understanding of this. So Confucianism deals with social matters, while Taoism concerns itself with the search for meaning. Okay. So both began as philosophies, each later taking on, obviously, religious undertones, right? More rules, more dogma around it, so forth. Chinese statecraft. I like that. Statecrafters. Let's see what this publication says. Okay, let's go to the conclusion. Findings. Wu Wei as flow. Seek for opening to stick in a pin. Follow the flow rather than forcing the situation, right? Concentrating on the work, not the result. Wu Wei is a self-protection, however, the head is supervised by the bum, okay? Stopping at the right time, the heavies, the roots of the lights. All these metaphors we're using. Exemplary question. Follow the flow rather than forcing. Instead of forcing her, this requires you to be able to control the trend and find a third way to solve the matter. Okay. But this is very good in policy. And this is very good in, I mean, this is using Csikszentmihalyi's flow theory as well, right? So how we can use flow state and playfulness in political decisions and even in policy making, okay, on high infrastructural levels, okay? So this is very, very key. I think a lot of us, we can learn from this kind of mentality, okay? So this is Wu Wei is self-protection. It's a very reflexive principle, advising to be reflectively aware in doing everything and never go too far. Isn't this the what we're desiring as an effect, right? Because we are moving into this energy right now of changing our leadership style. So I'm just sharing with you guys this different approach, right? Now, I believe the French had a style like this. Laissez-faire leadership, okay? I don't know if you guys have heard of this, where leaders give their team members the freedom to make decisions and manage their own work. It emphasizes delegation and minimal supervision because there's such a deep level of profound trust in all the members of the team. You see? So it's like allowing to do, allowing the process to actually unfold, right? Um, some people might just be like, oh, this is a lazy style of leadership, right? You're not like on it 24/7. But I think this creates a high level of trust because you're not constantly like bombarding somebody else with your opinions and strategies, but you're trusting in their skill set and you're allowing it to emerge, right? You're allowing the process of this leadership style to actually emerge and teach us something, right? About humanity, about life, about how we construct ourselves and we move forward as a people. Okay. You like unidimensionally. Okay. Now there will be people who raise up into this 5D energy, the new earth energy, and there will be people who are still stuck in the old world paradigms. So you will be getting a lot of challenges where you will start to recognize nowadays that relationships are not personal to you. They're impersonal aspects, formless aspects that are there to teach you something about this life and lifetimes, right? They're your teachers. And the next thing we have to understand is God is internal to us, right? It's not something up in the sky, not like a dream, a wishful thinking, like a prayer that we need it to happen, right? It's not a worship, okay? It's more so a grace, a connectedness to that energy, an understanding that you have capacity within you and you are God's child. So it's almost God's children versus man's children, which is technology, right? And right now, we're starting to understand this energy much more. Now, I want to really share with you guys something, okay? And let me see if we have Mary Bronze over here. He talks about the animus and anima. I think this is very powerful. Real love makes the other person whole. Okay. Share this. Okay. So
talk more about your idea of liberation of the heart, differentiating it from sexual liberation.
Well, feeling is my inferior function, so I have certain trouble to articulate that. But the feeling function is something which is completely neglected nowadays. Now, generally, we identify feeling with affect and emotion, but that is only inferior feelings. For instance, in the happenings of young people, musical happenings, they liberate their feelings. But it mostly comes out in strong emotions, and it comes out as a feeling of loving everybody or destroying everything in a kind of all over the place way, not individually pointed, while differentiated feeling is to love that unique person for its uniqueness, which presupposes that you are capable of seeing the uniqueness of the other, of getting rid of all schematic psychological judgments, of being able to, it is ultimately something irrational and has to do with one's own development. The more one becomes a unique individual oneself, the more one individuates in the Jungian sense of the word, the more one becomes only able to also see the other person as a unique person and not have some cliche judgment about them. If you listen to how people gossip about each other, you can notice that 80% of what they say about the other person is a cliche slogan and does not hit the uniqueness of that person. It doesn't define the uniqueness. So liberation of the heart would mean to become slowly capable of feeling and sensing the uniqueness of the other's personality and to love that uniqueness. And that doesn't mean this Christian, all-pardoning, sweetie pie, strawberry sauce love of just all loving and pardoning everything.
love.
It means, on the contrary,
Dang,
a very great precision of feeling, namely to I notice that people with differentiated feeling, if one talks to them in a not quite genuine tone or makes even a not quite genuine gesture of the hand, they are already shocked. They feel the uniqueness and they want you to be yourself. I think that's the most important thing for a psychologist, for instance, to love the genuine person of the patient. And to be quite openly disliking all what is not genuine in the patient. Then it brings out the other. It brings out in the other what he or she really is, or is really meant to be by nature. And that is real love, to love a love which heals or makes the other person whole, which makes the other person more him or herself.
Wow.
And that has nothing to do with sentimentality or being just sweet or polite.
Being strawberry sauce love. Yeah. Being a strawberry sauce lover. Okay. Yo, this woman is absolutely phenomenal. She's also one of the few people that said that animism or shamanism was one of the earliest forms of psychotherapy, right? So when I, as a positive psychologist, as a counselor, I like to look at the stuff and really incorporate it into my well-being. Like, I don't want to go all the way Gestalt therapist or Jungian therapist. I understand this too many years of my life. I want to start talking about this right now from where I'm at right here. I don't need a pedigree or a degree or a logical sponsorship to share my message with you guys, right? There's no reason for me to procrastinate and backmask and wait for some accreditation for me to share some fucking massive value with the planet. Okay. I have a lot of accreditations. Okay. You can go check my past profiles and who I've worked with and all that I've done, but that doesn't even matter right now. What matters is you learn to appreciate somebody as their uniqueness, their unique version of themselves, their unique character. Because when you can love yourselves fully and wholly, you know you are such a unique individual, yo. Right? Yes, there's little bits that you copy and like, yeah, there's a false persona. There's all of that, of course. But then there's that real you, right? There's that invisible real you that sets the trends, that gets it going, right? That lets the energy move with it. Okay. And so this is what we're really talking about, is we have to understand this energy. Now, she also had said that we're going, so if you have a mother complex, you're going from a primitive autoerotic type of love, of like singing outside a girl's window, you know, like la la la, please love me, please love me. Okay. Like most romantic movies we watch, right? Is that, yo, it's that same dude, right? It's that same dude. And what she's saying is it has to transform into true human capacity for love. Okay. And okay. I want to really explain something here before this gets taken out of context. Carl Jung, when he came up with the terms animus and anima, he was really visiting India. And he'd written a letter to one of his friends explaining this, that I cannot use these words, Shiva and Durga, to describe this, right? Shiva and Shakti to describe this. So I will use the terms animus and anima. So we were on code, absolutely, as Primal Sutra, as we were doing this and saying this and sharing these lessons, okay? Is actually profound if you think about this, okay? Actually profound. Now, so Parvati is material nature, right? Durga is the image of the material world. And if you notice, she's being shown through carrying all these 10 weapons going 10 directions, okay? Now, how did she get these weapons? These weapons were gifted by the other Hindu gods. Okay, Agni gave her something. I believe Yama gave her something. I believe Varuna gave her a conch shell. Okay, I believe Vayu gave her his bow. Okay, Indra gave her his Vajra, his lightning bolt. Okay, and I believe there's this like from Brahma, there was like this, what was it called? Kamandala. It's basically the waters of life, right? It was like an urn. It was like a vase full of water. And that was also very symbolic of Shakti later on because the water and the flow associated with that, right? Now, it was Vishnu's, I think, spinning disc was another weapon. So let's look at all of her weapons, okay? So let me just pull up an imagery of this. How does this relate to the full moon? We're going to find out. Okay. Now, she isn't always shown with these different things, but okay, the Trishul was okay. Let's look this up. This is another download coming up. Okay, so the Trishul was gifted by Lord Shiva. Chakra was by the spinning disc, though, was by Lord Vishnu. Kubera gave her the Gada. Lotus and Kamandal. Yep, that was the water vase and the lotus. Sword by Ganesha. Bow and arrow by Vayu. Sankhya or Lord Varuna. That's the Shak, so the conch shell, okay? The Vajra by Indra. Axe by Vishwakarma. And Varada or Abhaya Mudra gave her mercy, love, and power of love blessing. So she even gets the shine of Surya, right? He creates that effect. So think about this. This woman is the anima being supported by this animus. All of these male god weapons that she's being bestowed upon her because she's an amplification energy, right? So I think this is something very, very powerful because we don't really look at the understandings of why Shakti is powerful as well, right? So she awakens the gods to become more godlike. She allows them and moves with them and supports them, and hence they support her, right? So it's a supportive infrastructure that we first of all understand with the animus and anima. Now, if you have an anima or an animus possession, that's when you get a wimpy guy or an aggressive chick. That's when you start getting these energies that start to latch on to you, almost like a demonic possession, right? It would be like the energy actually latches onto you and needs you to do something in a specific way in order to appease that. So if you can't integrate it, then you will have to understand that the anima split. Like as a man, if you get an anima split in a way, this is different from possession, but anima split would be like you're split from the anima. So a lot of incels might be experiencing this. Like they don't have an understanding of the feminine energy in their lives, right? They've been cut off from it. And so the main understanding here would be that because they are cut off from the feminine, okay, because there's this nurturing yet ferocious side in Durga that we saw, right? She's very kind. She's a kind mother. She's very nurturing. But when she needs to go to battle against the demon Mahishasur, she's all for it, right? Because she does not stand for evil. She stands for righteousness, okay, and moving with that energy. So understand that there's this image of the Madonna and the whore, right? Like there's the Virgin Mary, the mother, and the pure Holy Ghost, and the prostitute, right? So there's these two archetypes that are difficult for a man to integrate and understand, right? Now with the OnlyFans stuff happening around the world, us guys were like, oh, just, what's your body count? That's the general thematic thing that people are focused on nowadays, which I don't get it, but irregardless, it's a product of the times, right? Let's just say that. And so people are starting to really add more of this repression, right? And more of this antagonism against this. And family systems and structures are collapsing, but if you go only towards all women are perfect and whole and pure, right? You don't see the dark side of femininity. You don't see the dark side of the feminine energy. So you're not facing them as this whole being, right? They go to the toilet too, they make mistakes too. It's like, you're not like a cartoon caricature woman who I don't know, she poops cotton candy or something. Like you got to get real with this, right? And that's the thing. Oh, it's 222 for me right now. Okay, so this means that this is really feminine healing time. Okay, feminine healing time. The 2 is the feminine times 3, the trishul, creation, right? Preservation and destruction, all in one. And it's the same thing as you saying sattvic, okay, which is preservation, tamasic, which is destruction, and rajasic, which is the creation. Okay. So if you understand these energies within you, and you understand your diet also reflects that, right? There's a sattvic diet, which is much more clean eating, a rajasic diet, which is I love rajasic food. You already know, man, spicy food all day, baby. Let's go. More garlic, the better. Bringing it on. Okay. Bring it on. Bring it on. Okay. That's my attitude. Very rajasic eater. So you sense my rajasic nature in these videos. Lastly, there's the tamasic, the very slow. Now, I do have that aspect here, especially being in Kolkata. I noticed the tamasic, slow nature of like laziness and being so laid back and not being an entrepreneur, not pushing forward and taking risks and, going places and doing things. Here in Kolkata, the energy is very laid back, man. It's right? Like that just means I'll do it later, right? That mentality of procrastination, of pushing things away. So I'm at the brunt of feeling into this energy here because I'm also healing people here in Kolkata, right? I work in Salt Lake, and I don't mean to dox myself like that, but regardless, like I think there's such a powerful understanding of being able to understand where your environment is and what the shadows of your environment is, right? The place that you are actually at and you're living in. What are the places and the ghettos and the sharp turns and the corners of the shanty town, or like the random bridges of moments? What are the energies that are present in that space already around you? Because you are going to be activating that as a shaman, as a healer, as a intuitive empath. You are going to be noticing the sensitivities of your environment. And hey, you heard Mary Franz, right? She was like, let's not be, like this is not the strawberry sauce love, right? This is a deep, visceral understanding of love, which is Lush, which is our life force energy, which is our life drive and death drive. Okay. Similarly, Reich talks about this. It's the orgone and the endurer. Okay. The endurer is just like, I'm going to bulldoze it. I'm going to kill myself to get this reward, right? That's the most hustle culture, right? I'm gonna kill myself to get this reward. It doesn't even matter about me. No, that's like it's all about my honor as a man or whatever, right? Like that's the pinnacle of that hustle, like, you know, that mentality. And so we get it, right? We're starting to almost disentangle ourselves from this sort of societal construct of how you have to show up to work, what you have to do, by what time. It's like, what does the work really expect of you? You know, all these rules, they're going to be coming up right now with this full moon energy, and they're going to be changing. So I want you to understand how to embrace the changes. Okay. There's going to be sharp turns. There's going to be moments of panic. Okay. However, you want to really maintain secure and understand the energetic cause underneath everything, right? That's really going to help you right now. Is understand your symptoms, your aches, your maladies, all of that comes from an emotional reason. And so once you handle that, you're working towards, again, reconnecting with your alignment, therefore feeling much more free, much more alive, much more energized and excited about what's to come. Okay. So that's really it. And if you have any questions about this, you know, shoot us a message for our path working. I would highly recommend all adepts. You guys know what to do by full moon times right now, by this time. But what I'd say is for this one, you know, do a blue one, blue candle if you have one, because it is the blue super moon as well and so forth. So there's a lot of complications with that too. So I don't want to get into the astrology and all that stuff. We have people on our team to handle that, and we're bringing on new people to give us more messages and downloads from that side of things. So I really want you to, well, I want to end with this. Let me see if I can share this. What was the video called? Okay. This is an ad for wearing a helmet, by the way, but it's interesting. Okay. So should I do it with the sound off? Yeah, I'll probably do it with the sound off and speed it up a bit. Okay. Copyright reasons, YouTube, yada, yada. Okay, let's go. Let's check this out. Badass. Sheesh. Okay. Dang, look at Ganesha on the rat. Ooh. That's what's up, Garuda. Even those who protect you protect their heads, protect yours, right? That's the ad. But I just wanted to show you guys that this is like very powerful, right? The symbolism, this imagery. Okay. Why do women wear this, by the way, on their nose? It's so that they're inhaling gold, right? They're inhaling abundance, richness, fertility, agriculture, gold, right? So that they're when they have their nose pierced like this, it's symbolic of the cycle of life, but it's also they're breathing in that gold. All right. Now let's look at yo, that's based as fuck. Imagine, oh, we had a deity who was like, oh yeah, Ryan's new deity who we discovered. And he was like, I don't like elephants. All of a sudden, he's like a manticore energy, right? And we immediately like pointed it back to Ganesha. And Ganesha was just laughing in the corner, you know, he was not taking it seriously at all because he knows he's not really an elephant. He just has the head of an elephant and he's a god, right? So he wasn't even stressing it, but is really interesting to see that dynamic unfold. Okay. So yeah, amazing, right? Let's see who. I love this scene. It's just coming out of the water. Dang. Dang. Yep. These are like cinematic moments, man. They need to do a recreation of these, man. These myths and these stories. Someone needs to do it properly. Properly. We already have a Mahabharata and a Ramayana and all that, but we need one where the gods are just like together and improvising. We need that, right? Yeah, that'd be awesome. And for the Western public, right? Make it something animated, make it something almost like, you know how Star Wars Clone Wars is animated? Something like that. Okay. That's how I envision it. But anyway, I'm just throwing out ideas into the cosmos, into the quantum soup, right? Doesn't mean you have to use it. It just means that, hey, be aware of it. Okay, apply it if it's helpful. All right, don't go full mad scientist yet. Okay, inhaling gold, nice. Yeah, exactly, bro. So, any questions around here? I see some people in the chat. Also, thank you for the fire emojis and the interacting. All right, Extos, Christos is here, right? But is this all making sense to you guys, right? It's a powerful understanding that feminine form, if you will really understand that Shakti energy, that feminine form, right? Sati decides to come back as Parvati. Then Parvati can amplify into Durga. Then Durga can amplify into Kali, right? So it's like forms. It's like a Russian doll effect. You guys are getting that? So the multifacetedness, okay, through Kim is here, right? Of course, divine timing, okay? The multifacetedness of the Shakti energy is really powerful. And we got to understand the moon energy is also a very feminine energy because it's a lunar, it's a subconscious time. So what do you want to do in a full moon? You want to feed your brain with imagery, okay? Why? Because the reptile brain sees images quickly, right? And it infiltrates and it does something with the images that come flashing in our minds. So visualization during full moon times is actually very pivotal. And it's going to sink in deeper into your lunar mind, your subconscious. Okay. Females are more subconscious in their lunar nature. Men are more in their solar conscious nature. However, there's both, right? And there's an interaction, and there's a dance, and there's a play happening all the time, right? With certain energies and communication styles and different styles of leadership. And we see it all, right? We see the examples in culture. And so we really want to understand how is it that we're able to maintain this energy container with the feeling energized. Okay. And that's the real journey. It's like it's not a balancing act exactly, but it's almost like you have to come from the center as the conductor of this thing to bring and emerge it out, right? So during this full moon time, you will get tested by a lot of nonsense. Okay, just ignore. Don't ignore completely. Obviously, take some note of it, acknowledge it, but you got to keep yourself to this energy, to this frequency of illumination. What is hidden will come out to light, and we're seeing it all across the planet right now. Okay, all of the different shadows and the crevices and the cracks of our armor, and the way that our ego is latching on and grasping onto certain things, right? We're noticing it right now this time. And we're like, I want that. I need that. I need to have that impulse. Okay. Working with our impulses, working with our urgency, our urges, and understanding what it really means to have that and be that, right? And not negating the fact that we are in this material matter, mother world. Okay. And we have to find the patterns, the the father, in order to move and survive this thing. Okay. Hello, mama, papa. Okay. Hello. Okay. That's how we have to be, though. To understand that you are the earthly father, earthly mother energies, the heroes gamos within. There is a holy grail aspect, something happening within you, right? Where the Christ oil is understanding that it's rising. Kim, that's too much validation for one day, okay? You're not gonna ask me? Okay. Have you been, Ken? Where have you been? Have you been in the enemy's trenches? What's been going on? Surya, the shine. Think about it. All of these gods, they just gave Durga weapons. Okay? She just showed up, right? Did her thing, proved her worth, her power. And all these weapons were just handed to her. Okay? And the gods gladly gave them to her to understand that she was one of the few energies that could turn the vices. This is what I learned from her, by the way. The vices into devices. Lilith, dark feminine, right? Okay, that energy. So it's very important that we understand both worlds, okay? And we will really understand this as we start to emerge into the proper timelines that we are meant to be at, okay? So we have to almost ignore the other timelines that emerge and sort of pivot through this, okay? Through various ways and multifaceted approaches. We can't be using one weapon. We need 10 weapons across 10 directions. Okay. Kim says, to be honest, just getting stoned like always, fighting demons in my closet. Okay. Maybe you want to get him out of there, right? Have a tea party with them instead. Okay. Enough fighting. Okay. The fighting days are over, Kim. You need to invite them out of the closet and have them, do some breakdance competitions. Okay. How about that? Okay. Yeah, you start raising a fund. Okay. Where they feed you like, I don't know, astral lemonade or something. Or just get a new closet. Okay. Bet. All right. So the energy we're sensing right now is one of rebellion. It's one of changing around the rhythm of things, and it's about unfolding what has always been, and we're starting to see the puppet strings, right, from before. So now it's up to you at this timeline, at this juncture, to not only appreciate your unique self better and more, but also to know your truth. And what I mean by knowing your truth is if it doesn't make sense to you, then it's not right for you, yo. Okay? You're the creator of the belief system that works best for you. To thine own self be true, right? You're right. I'm gonna invite them for a tea party. Yeah, exactly. And you gotta be the Mad Hatter in that, right? Tilt your hat like this and just party it up, right? Party it up with your daimons. And see if you can help them raise in their consciousness, right? See if you can get them from like apathy or like shame or whatever as an impulse. And you know, I'm going back to sleep and this conversation sounds serious. Kim isn't serious. Lol, goodbye. All right, Kim. Peace out. Okay. Is this conversation serious though? Maybe, maybe not. Okay. It's playful serious. Absolutely it is. It's a combination. And lastly, I would say you're here for a reason, yo. Okay. There's some kind of a divine plan in motion that you're not seeing that I'm a part of this integral puzzle piece yet. You're just looking at it from your angle, not from a higher paradigm yet. So your guides can tell you all of these different things, They tell you to respect yourself and be courageous and be essential, you know, to have purpose, and know that you are needed for something on this planet. Okay. So let these timelines wait and shift around a few things and then make the right pockets, the pivots of decision making. All right. That's going to unlock the proper framework that's going to emerge. Okay. So good. This is how we're going to move forward with this energy. Okay, Scorpios, Leos, Tauruses, you're going to feel this intensity. Okay, a little bit more than the other signs, as well as Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius as well. All I would say is embrace it. It's a humanitarian effort to connect us all with the planet and what's going on right now as we see the world when we're like, fuck that shit. We need to be the ones who embrace and understand that that's a part of our shadows too. Okay. And this is what's coming up. Again, wealth, abundance. That's been the theme of the Lion's Gate, as well as it's moving into the 18th. And then tomorrow is the full moon 19th. Okay. For me, it's the 18th, but also I understand how to amplify the energy, because it's going to be midnight for me, which is the 19th, but it's not full moon yet for another day. One more thing before I leave. Primal Sutra is trying to set us free from the matrix to all the new people. Okay, good night for real this time. Good night, Kim. Thank you so much. I appreciate your energy, and yeah, may we never be the same again. May we never be the same again. And thank you for recognizing that truth. I appreciate that quite a lot. And let's slowly turn into these absolute monstrosities, right? The most unique versions of ourselves in a good way, okay? Don't be monsters in a weird way, okay? If you understand just how this time right now is going to bring up all of your peak experiences, you will understand what I mean when I say the next sentence, okay? Because you're going to release toxic relationships. Now's the time. Now is the time. You felt depleted and empty for long, but right now is your attempt to release those who are not in accordance to the inspiration of your soul. You see? For a muse, you want them to inspire you, move you forward. The male energy is the museum. They take the muse energy to put up artifacts and places you can go to in the physical world. But the muse energy itself, okay, more like museum, right? Okay. Or music, right? Or the word music comes from muse. Okay. So to understand, you have this muse, this energy of this anima, the Shakti that moves through you and pulls you into different ideas, different themes, different things. And you need to know how to embrace that and challenge the narrative, challenge the norm, make it emerge from the crevices and cracks of your subconscious mind, all the hidden layers, all the stuff that doesn't make sense, all the nonsense that you've heard from other people. All of that needs to be burned and transmuted with the violet flame of light. That's right. We're not holding back with our spiritual energy right now. We're just activating, going into our internal worlds, figuring out the different codes that are there, and coming up with a whole big picture, which can help us create new circumstance, new ways and pathways forward to illuminate the path in front of our eyes. So today, take it easy. Tomorrow is the full moon, okay? And as you engage with this, you might join us for our channeling tomorrow. It's going to be a good one if it's a full moon channeling, probably a very powerful one, okay? So tap in with that. I just noticed what kind of a bird is that? Is that a crow? Interesting. So I'm just seeing a black crow with white spots. So I don't know what that means. Probably a rebirth, another one. Okay. Let's get it today. Upward spiral. May we never be the same again. Hit that like and subscribe button. And we out. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Osa. May we never be the same again. Hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Support the family, the movement, the tribe. Join our Telegram group where we talk shit. It's a Sangha, but you know, it's a Sangha for badasses. Okay. We're not no strawberry sauce lovers in here. Okay. This is not strawberry sauce. This is like a deep fullness of love, an expansiveness, a tsunami of love flowing out of our heart spaces to drown any demon that comes up in front of us. and feed them that water, that sustenance, so they're not thirsty. Let's get